When you're buying car insurance, make sure you pay as little as possible and uncheck every box. Wrong, don't do that. In this video, we're going to talk about car insurance and what kind of coverages you should have. My name is Eric Mausner. I'm a personal injury lawyer at Mausner Graham Injury Law. We are personal injury lawyers in Miami, Florida. Thanks for stopping by our channel where we talk about various legal topics, tips, tricks, news, and so on. So today we're going to be talking about types of insurance you should buy on your car or your boat. Just remember, you should also consult with an insurance agent, financial planner, even your own personal attorney about what kind of coverage you should buy so that you're adequately protected. So number one, should you get more than the minimum requirements of car insurance? The minimum requirements of car insurance are personal injury protection, also called PIP, and property damage, $10,000 each. That means you're insuring yourself and your other passengers up to $10,000 in medical bills and $10,000 of property damage for any cars you hit. That doesn't protect your own car, it protects cars you hit. It's called property damage coverage. The Florida State Legislature has said that the minimum coverage that you have to buy on your car in the state of Florida is $10,000 PIP, $10,000 property damage. This coverage is bare bones. It's horrible coverage. It really doesn't protect you or other people if you're in a crash. You're going to want to buy more than just the minimum coverage in Florida to protect yourself and your family and friends when you're driving. What happens if you get into an accident with someone who doesn't have insurance? Well, you could be shit out of luck. This happens all the time in Florida. This is why it's important for you to buy insurance that has all kinds of coverages, including something called coverage, uninsured motorist or underinsured motorist. This protects you when the other car doesn't have insurance at all or doesn't have a type of coverage called bodily injury coverage. So if somebody else hits you, doesn't have insurance or doesn't have bodily injury coverage, you're going to be looking to your own personal car insurance to try and recover money to pay your bills, pain and suffering, lost wages, and damages like that. As mentioned, the minimum coverage in Florida is called 1010, 10,000 property damage, 10,000 PIP. When you buy, lease, or finance a car, you can't take the car off the dealership unless you buy that minimum insurance. So it's important not to get the minimum insurance. It's horrible coverage. You've got to increase it. Is Florida a no-fault state? Yes, it is. This refers to the PIP coverage. Personal injury protection is no-fault coverage. It pays your bills up to $10,000 no matter who's at fault. So if you crash into somebody else, you caused the crash, your bills are going to be paid up to $10,000. And just to be clear, PIP tends to pay 80% of the bills up to $10,000. It's not going to pay the full $10,000 in certain scenarios. It will depend on your coverage. It'll depend on the billing, but you may have some excess medical bills and you want to be aware of that. Do I need to buy coverage, otherwise known as underinsured or uninsured motorist coverage in Florida? Yes, you have to buy coverage in Florida, protect yourself and your family. You should definitely speak to your insurance company, your agent, personal attorney. You definitely want this coverage. It protects you in case something goes wrong while you're driving. How does personal injury protection work in Florida? PIP, personal injury protection, pays the bills up to $10,000. So if you go to the hospital as a result of a car crash, or any kind of doctor, chiro, an ortho, your primary care doctor, they can bill your car insurance to reduce your medical responsibility and your medical debt. What's the difference between uninsured and underinsured? Uninsured can mean you have no insurance at all. Somebody else caused your injuries and they have no coverage for it. That's uninsured. Underinsured means someone didn't buy enough coverage. Both these things happen all the time in Florida, so you want to make sure you have your own insurance to protect yourself. So recent studies in Florida seem to indicate that between 20 to 40% of drivers are either underinsured or uninsured. This means you have to have the right kind of coverage in Florida. You need to protect yourself, your health, and your assets. Get the right kind of insurance. Is boating insurance required in Florida? So again, which is a trend in Florida, the law is pretty bad for insurance and requiring people to have insurance. If you can believe it, you actually are not legally required to have boating insurance in Florida, but there are caveats. So marinas or rentals or other kinds of situations will require you to have boating insurance. But the average person who goes out and buys a boat, keeps it on their driveway or keeps it in the dock, that person may not have insurance. Someone is injured on your boat, who is responsible? Somebody gets injured on your boat, chances are you might be responsible. It's going to depend on the facts, but you're going to want to have general liability insurance on your boat for personal injuries to cover this situation. Does my Florida business require insurance? Well, legally, you may be able to operate your business and start your business without getting insurance, but you should have insurance. Most businesses should have insurance, and it's going to depend on what kind of business you have. For example, if you were a medical facility, you're going to want to have insurance that covers the kinds of services you offer. If you're a law firm, you're going to need malpractice insurance. A doctor also needs malpractice insurance. If you're a restaurant or a bar, you're going to want general liability insurance. You might even want insurance that covers injuries for assault or battery. There's a lot of scenarios and a lot of different kinds of coverage. You're going to want to consult an insurance agent so you can buy insurance that applies to your business. But you certainly should have it. If you get sued, who's going to pay for the damages? Who's going to defend your lawsuit? That's a question, and those are issues that can be covered by insurance. Does my business insurance cover employees that drive company cars? Business insurance might cover your property or your facility or certain acts or occurrences that happen in the course of you offering your services to the public. It may not cover drivers of vehicles. You may need a certain auto policy that covers anybody driving a company car. Consult your insurance agent to make sure everybody's covered. What happens if I get sued by a customer for an injury that occurs on my business property? Well, you may be held liable for those injuries, but if you do have insurance, insurance is going to protect your business, including cash, assets. It's also going to pay for your defense. So you should consult an insurance agent and look into commercial general liability insurance to protect your business. What is an umbrella policy and how does it work? An umbrella policy is excess insurance. It's a secondary layer of insurance above your primary. For example, let's say you buy car insurance and you have $250,000 of bodily injury coverage and $250,000 of uninsured motorist coverage. You could buy something called an umbrella or excess coverage that will protect you above and beyond your primary limits. It's good to do it when you own cash, assets, and you have a valuable business, and or if you just want to protect yourself and your family. It's a good thing to do. Do I need an umbrella policy in Miami? Well, I always recommend to friends that you should always have excess insurance above your primary insurance to protect yourself, protect your home, your cash, your assets, your family, your business, everything. So yes, I would recommend that everybody has an umbrella. Does an umbrella policy help if I'm sued for a personal injury claim? Yes, the umbrella policy should cover you if somebody sues you for damages above your primary insurance limits. Thanks for stopping by our YouTube channel. Hope you enjoyed the information. Please stop by anytime. We're always here giving out legal tips, advice, discussing news and topics. Our office is in Miami, Florida. Our consults are free. We're always here to help you and others.